If you were thinking of taking a drive on a beautiful weekend day, the one we are about to take should definitely be on your list. On today's tours of Northeast Ohio neighborhoods, come along with us on this driving tour through the historic neighborhoods of Brahtenahl, Rockefeller Park and the Cultural Gardens, University Circle and Wade Oval, and finally ending in Little Italy. Along the way, we will give you a little history of these lovely neighborhoods, and tell you where you might want to make a stop or two. But before we begin this driving tour, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Please click the notification button, so you can be notified when we drop more videos like this one in the near future. Also, won't you please become one of our patrons by visiting our Patreon page and signing up? We have provided a link below. By doing so, this helps us create more of these videos for your enjoyment. Plus, by becoming a patron you will get special perks, including a shout-out on one of our future videos. Now, we begin our driving tour on Lakeshore Boulevard in the Glenville neighborhood of Cleveland, Ohio. We begin near the historic Euclid Beach Park. There, you will find the iconic arch that once stood at the front entrance of Euclid Beach Amusement Park. You will find the arch at 16301 Lakeshore Boulevard. Euclid Beach Park is now part of the Cleveland Metroparks system. The park includes a lovely beach, fishing pier with a magnificent view of Lake Erie and the shoreline of Cleveland, and a pristine picnic area. The iconic arch now stands in front of a series of apartment complexes but is a good place to take a picture or two. We continue our drive along Lakeshore Boulevard, heading into the upscale neighborhood of Brahtenahl. Before the turn of the century, Brahtenahl was part of the Glenville neighborhood. In the mid-19th century, there were around 24 families with farms in this area, including Charles Brahtenahl, whose land was right by Lake Erie. Near Eddy Road, another citizen of this area by the name of Charles Coit built a summer hotel he called the Coit House. The property where the hotel was located would in 1898 become the neighborhood's first country club. In the first few years of the 1900s, Cleveland was starting to talk about annexing both the Glenville and Collinwood neighborhoods. In 1902, a few prominent citizens of the neighborhood, such as industrialists Liberty Holden, Samuel Mather and the mayor of Glenville Frederick Goff, opposed this annexation effort. They all got together and decided to incorporate their part of the neighborhood, to prevent being annexed into the city of Cleveland. In 1903, Brahtenahl was incorporated as its own village. Although in the 1970s, it became part of the Cleveland public school system, it is still, to this day, its own village, and does not fall under the jurisdiction of the city of Cleveland. Brahtenahl is known for its luxurious mansions and high-rise condominiums. Many of the great Cleveland industrialists had summer homes here. They all dotted the magnificent Lake Erie shoreline. In fact, the Shoreby Club, which is along the drive that we are taking, was once the home of Samuel Mather. Samuel Mather was one of the wealthiest citizens of Cleveland, Ohio. He founded the Cleveland Iron Company. Samuel Mather also owned a home on Millionaires Row on Euclid Avenue, and his Millionaires Row mansion is one of the few that still remain, and is part of the Cleveland State University campus. Samuel Mather's son, William Gwynn Mather, also lived in Brahtenahl. William G. Mather owned the Cleveland Cliffs Company. In fact, you can visit one of his ships, which is docked at the Great Lakes Science Center, where they have daily tours of the vessel. Mather owned one of the most palatial mansions in Brahtenahl, which he called the Gwynn Estate. The Gwynn Estate is well known for its magnificent gardens that were designed by Charles Platt, Ellen Biddle Shipman, and Warren H. Manning. Other notable people who lived in Brahtenahl at one time or another included actor Jim Backus, who was the voice of Mr. Magoo, and who played Thurston Howell III on the popular sitcom, Gilligan's Island. Helena Britton, who was one of the owners of the St. Louis Cardinals. Actress Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West in the movie The Wizard of Oz. Coburn Haskell, the man who invented the modern golf ball. William McDermott, renowned drama critic. Beverly Sills, who was once known as the Queen of the Opera. James Salisbury, the inventor of the Salisbury steak. Alonzo Wright, Cleveland's first African-American millionaire. And Eliot Ness, famous crime fighter who brought down Al Capone. As we depart the lovely neighborhood of Brahtenahl, we will make our way around Gordon Park, and go beyond the shoreway, heading towards Rockefeller Park. Rockefeller Park covers approximately 200 acres on the city's east side. In April 1897, Cleveland industrialist, John D. Rockefeller, who owned this land, deeded it for use as a park, to the city of Cleveland. The park was designed by landscape architect Ernest W. Bowditch, and Cleveland architect Charles Schweinfurth designed the 4 distinctive bridges that you will see as you drive along Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. One of the stops you could make on your tour of Rockefeller Park is the Rockefeller Greenhouse. The Rockefeller Greenhouse is located at 750 East 88th Street. The Rockefeller Greenhouse is considered a gem of Cleveland. It includes a lovely greenhouse and spectacular gardens. These peaceful and lush gardens are situated on 4 acres of land. They feature a variety of specialty plant collections, seasonal floral displays, and the Betty Ott talking garden for the blind. The Rockefeller Greenhouse is open 7 days a week, and admission is free. Rockefeller Park also includes the renowned Cleveland Cultural Gardens. The Cultural Gardens were started in 1916 with the Shakespeare Garden, which is now known as the British Garden. The idea was to have different, very specific gardens, that would show off the different ethnic groups residing in the greater Cleveland area. Each garden is unique, and fairly represents what is important to each ethnic group. Since its conception, the Cultural Gardens has gone through many stages, including a building stage, then a period where there was a brief decline and few gardens were built or maintained, to a Renaissance period, which we are now a part of. This Renaissance came about with the new growth of the city, along with all the wonderful changes that came with that growth. The Cultural Gardens actually extend to 2 locations in Rockefeller Park. Several of the older gardens are located on East Boulevard, but the majority are located on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, which is where we are currently touring. There are 33 gardens in total. You will be able to see them from your car as you drive this road, but undoubtedly the best way to see the gardens would be to park your car near one of the gardens, or at the parking lot by the lagoon and the tennis courts. There you can take a walk along the pathways, where you can get a better view of each garden. As we leave Rockefeller Park and the Cultural Gardens, we head towards University Circle. University Circle has one of the densest concentrations of cultural attractions and performing arts venues in the United States. It includes world-class institutions such as Case Western Reserve University, University Hospital Case Medical Center, the Cleveland Museum of Art, the Cleveland Natural History Museum, the Cleveland Botanical Gardens, the Cleveland History Museum, the Cleveland Institute of Art, the Cleveland Institute of Music, the Music School Settlement, as well as Severance Hall, which is the home to the world-renowned Cleveland Orchestra, and also the very popular Museum of Contemporary Art, which is better known as MoCA. This neighborhood started when Western Reserve University and the Case Institute of Technology were looking to relocate. They found this land 4 miles east of downtown Cleveland. At the time it was a fledgling community, with just enough open space to develop. Their relocation led to the birth of the Educational Center of Case Western Reserve University, and thus created a new community, which they called University Circle. It was named this, in part after these new institutions, but also because of the circular street intersection and traffic turnaround that was created at Euclid Avenue and Doane Brook Boulevard, which is now Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. By the 1890s, the Western Reserve School of Design for Women which is now the Cleveland Institute of Art, moved to University Circle, and the concept of developing a world-class arts and cultural center came to life. The concept became more concrete when Jephthah Wade, one of the city's leading industrialists, and a trustee of Western Reserve University, set aside land for an art museum to be built in the circle. He called this area Wade Oval, which is still very much a part of the neighborhood. It sits in the middle, as an open park, surrounded by 3 very popular museums. The Western Reserve Historical Society, or what is now known as the Cleveland History Museum, joined these institutions before the turn of the century. It includes the Crawford Auto Aviation Museum, and the History Museum, which is located in 2 mansions, the Hay and the Hannah Mansions. As you pass the building, you will see a remnant of the Euclid Beach Amusement Park, its famous carousel, which you can take a ride on, as part of the admission to the museum. There is quite a great deal to see and to do in this area. You can spend the entire day here. Museum hopping is very popular, but just walking around Wade Oval, and going to Wade Lagoon, which is located at the southern end of the Cleveland Museum of Art, would add so much to your tour of this neighborhood. Our drive-through only touches upon part of the neighborhood. As we go past University Circle, and drive through the campus of Case Western Reserve University, you may notice a very distinctive-looking building. This is the Peter B. Lewis Building for the Weatherhead School of Management. Peter B. Lewis was the chairman of Progressive Insurance Company. The building itself is designed by Frank Gehry. Mr. Lewis donated $36.9 million to the Weatherhead School to help build this distinctive building. Undoubtedly, it does turn heads to just about everyone who passes it. As we leave the University Circle area, we enter into one of the most enduring ethnic neighborhoods in the city of Cleveland, the neighborhood of Little Italy. Little Italy was established in the late 19th century, by immigrants that arrived largely from Italy's Abruzzi region. Giuseppe Carabelli, an Italian artisan, came to Cleveland via New York to open a sculpting and stone masonry business. Carabelli's early employees developed reputations as expert stonemasons, due to their contributions to monumental works, at nearby Lake View Cemetery. Neighborhood life in Little Italy revolved around both the Holy Rosary Roman Catholic Church, and the Alta Settlement House. John D. Rockefeller financed the Alta House in 1898. It was a community center, and a day nursery for the women of Little Italy. It was named after Rockefeller's daughter, Alta Rockefeller Prentice. Little Italy was not the only Italian neighborhood in the city of Cleveland. There was another one that was made up mostly of Sicilian immigrants, but that particular Italian neighborhood had a decline after World War II. Little Italy has continued to remain one of the more popular neighborhoods of Greater Cleveland. It is well known for its vibrant art scene, and its amazing restaurants. It is a neighborhood that keeps changing and adapting to the times. It would be an excellent location to stop and to have a late lunch or early supper, and to walk along the brick-lined streets, that have a feel of an old-world community in modern times. We have reached the end of our driving tour of these historic neighborhoods. We want to thank you for coming along with us. We also want to thank all of our subscribers. We really appreciate your support. We ask again to those that have not done so, to please subscribe to our channel. Please leave your comments. We would love to hear from you as to which neighborhoods in Northeast Ohio that you would like to see on a driving or walking tour. You might see your suggestion on an upcoming video. Please watch our other videos on the histories and stories of our neighborhoods, and the icons of Northeast Ohio. Thanks again, and see you soon.